Okay, in today's lesson we are going to see what texture based particle emission is all about. We worked with a bit of a fluid structure also. I'll give you a small output of what we made. We're trying to make something which is smoky text here. See, the basic idea behind today's lesson is there are situations when we will require that our particle system emission should more or less be focused on a texture, or maybe work according to a texture. So in situations like that we need to control our particle emission. So let's take a small NURBS plane here, and I'm going to add an emit from object. So what happens when we do an emit from object on a NURBS plane? Sorry, I'll just bring the plane a bit up so that there's no ambiguity here. Yeah, you can see that these particles are getting emitted from the various CVs of my NURBS plane. So what we need to do here is, let's come to my outliner, let's pick up my particles under my emitter. Now since it's going to emit from the CVs and I want it to emit from the surface, I'm going to set my emitter property to surface. That's what it is here. Now let's rewind it and let's scroll down to texture emission attributes. Here you've got texture rate. Now switch on enable texture rate and add a map to it. So we're going to take a file and open my map2.tga. This is basically a black background on which the word smoke is written in white. Now for reasons of simplicity to understand, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my NURBS plane to a layer so that I can hide it. So let's play now. So what do we have? We get some particles rising on an odd formation, but I'm not exactly seeing that word smoke here. So what we need to do here is, let's just select my particles, go down to the emitter rollout, and I'm going to shoot up the rate. Okay, and let's rewind and play now. See, I can see the word smoke coming up roughly, but the problem here is my particles are moving. Now they are moving because my emitter has got a speed here. If you can see, now speed is set to 1. Now I don't want any speed, I want it to be 0, so that I can get the word emitted here itself. So you can see here slowly my texture is actually emitting those particles in the format as given. So what happens here is, let's come to my rate and let me just shoot up this rate. Right, so you can see here all those tiny holes are getting filled. So I've got a much more detailed particle structure to work with. Right now these particles are free, they are in the form of this text, but you can apply fields to them, you can do all sorts of cool stuff here. So what we can do is, we can select these particles, come to solvers, initial state set for selected. When you give initial state set for selected, these particles are stored in their current state at frame 1. So I'm going to hit set for selected, and at this point of time I can safely say we don't need my plane or my emitter, because my particles are here in the scene. You can see if I play, I've got a static populated particles in the form of a text. That's about filling up. Now you can apply all sorts of effects to this. You can, if required, you can add fields to it, make it break down like dust and all those kinds of things. Right, moving ahead to our actual lesson today, the one which we wanted to show you, wherein actually make this work like smoke. So how this works, we obviously will be needing a 2D fluid container for this. So I'm going to take a 2D fluid container with these basic values: X resolution 50, Y resolution 50, size again 50 and 50. So let's apply and close, and I've got a 2D fluid container here. Right, so we've got a 2D fluid container here. Now obviously I need to populate this with my text. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to come to fluids, add edit contains, paint fluids tool. Here if you just scroll down, you'll be having attribute maps here, import, and let's import our map2.tga. Yeah, let's go to shaded mode. You can see smoke has come, but obviously it's kind of blurred here, the aliasing has gone down because my base resolution is low. So I'm going to take up a base resolution somewhere around 150 and I'm going to import this once again. So now you can see it's much more clearer. Okay, it's much more what do you say, understandable, and obviously the higher you go into the resolution, the more clear these edges will be. So now for training purposes we're not going to go much higher than 150. I'm going to stick to this. So obviously now this fluid has got a variety of contents methods. The most basic contents method is density, which is right now set to dynamic grade, and this is what we'll be working with in this exercise. Let's scroll down, and inside contents details we'll be opening this density rollout. Now if I play, you can see that the smoke kind of moves up. Now obviously this is not right, and let's just increase my playback. So if you play, you can see my smokes kind of breaks down from the structure and moves up. So what is happening here is my buoyancy is 1, the value is 1, it's positive, so obviously it's going to move my particles upwards. If I'm going to set my buoyancy to -1, and if I play now, you can see the smoke is coming down. So basically buoyancy is the property which is going to control in which direction your particles will move. So I don't want my particles to move, I'm going to hit it to 0. So when I hit it to 0, you can see it more or less sticks to where it is. There is absolutely no change. Now since there is no change here, let's if I want the smoke to actually break down, there is a value called dissipation. If I just shoot up this dissipation value, let's see what happens. Slowly my smoke will lose its density and opacity and melt, or rather it will vanish. It's going to lose its value, its density, and it's going to mix up with the background and it's gone. Right, so this is a very interesting value here, dissipation. We're going to work with that also. Now once we have got this, let's just go to our fields and add a turbulence here. Now what does this turbulence do? This turbulence is absolutely going to break down the structure of what we have here in the smoke. Now you can see here it's slowly eroding that structure, very slowly, very softly it's eroding that structure, and it's gone. Now obviously I'm going to work on the magnitude of my smoke here. So there's a certain amount of keyframing that needs to be done when I'm going to make an effect like this. So I'm going to come to magnitude, and at frame 0 I'm going to set my magnitude value to 0, give it a key, and I'm going to shoot this down to 200. We don't need 500 here. So let's come to somewhere around frame 50 and again set a value 0. So basically what this does is, from frame 1 to frame 50 there is absolutely no change in the magnitude of my turbulence. Moving ahead to frame 60, I could shoot this to 200, set a key, and move ahead to frame 70, reset it back to 0 and set a key. So what does this do? It plays from 1 to 50. From 50 the turbulence goes up, and at 70 it's disturbed. So obviously if required, you can shoot up the value some more. I hit 200. Let's put this to somewhere around 4 and hit a key. You could always rewind and play. Seems to be taking up a amount of noise now. Just pause here and wait for it to sample. Alright, now what we had done is we had just added a turbulence with a burst keyframe from 50 to 660, wherein my value goes up. Now you can see that the structure has got scrambled here, and it's actually scrambled up the structure, but since my turbulence comes down to 0 at frame 70, so this smoke more or less remains here. Now if you remember that property dissipation which we had discussed earlier, wherein it kind of dissolves out, the density dissolves out here. So what we are doing is we are going to keyframe this dissipation also, and we could come to somewhere around frame 60 to start my initial keyframe, reset this value at 0 here, move to keyframe 70, and kind of shoot up the value. somewhere around 0.6 would be good enough. Let's rewind this and play now. So stays constant till frame 50 approximately, gets scrambled. Now you can see the dissipation coming into play here because this smoke is gone, right? So this is about creating a text onto a 2D fluid container and scrambling that structure using a field turbulence and using the dissipation property in the density contents details method to get rid of our excess volume on the screen. So that would be all for this lesson. Thank you very much.